Welcome to the Lumbridge Knight's guide for the Below Ice Mountain quest. There are a few items you'll need for this quest, but you can pick everything you need up on the way. You will need to defeat a level 25 Ancient Guardian, but you can do it with a pickaxe and 10 mining if you don't have the straight up combat skills. In reward, you'll get 1 quest point, 2,000 coins, and access to the new Camdozaal ruins. Well met, adventurers. I'm the Lumbridge Knight, your guide to all things old school RuneScape. Blessings of Saradamon be upon us as we venture forth. So here we go with another old school RuneScape quest. This time we're doing the Below Ice Mountain quest. You can start this quest by speaking to Willow, who is just south of the Dwarven Mine, pretty much on the main road. There's no real trick to speaking to her, just literally click through the speech options. She will, obviously in classic RuneScape misdirection, she's clearly some sort of grave robber type thief, and she masquerades or convinces you that she's an archaeologist in order to open up the doorway to a new set of ruins that she's discovered. The ruins are literally just to the northwest of where we're starting the quest, and you'll obviously see them at the end. In order to access it, she convinces you that she needs to basically get her old crew back together. The crew consists of Willow herself, Checkal, who's a strongman, Burntof, who's a master of explosives, and Marley, the thief. You agree to get the band back together, so to speak, and the first thing I recommend you do, and you'll have noticed it in the summary slide at the start, having the Skull Scepter is massively advantageous for this quest, so use the Skull Scepter and teleport to the Barbarian Village. If you haven't got the Skull Scepter, simply walk there. If you want to know where to get the Skull Scepter from, you can get that from the Stronghold of Security. A link to a guide should be coming up on the screen now. Once there, you'll notice Checkal, the strongman, flexing in the corner. Speak to him. He will basically say he won't rejoin the crew unless you've trained with Atlas and proved that you're a strongman, or like you proved your worth. So Atlas can be found in the long hall to the north. You can tell which one's Atlas by his name and that the horns on his helmet point up, unlike the other barbarians. Agree to do his training, and you'll begin to do a training montage. You'll do some runs through Varrock Street, you'll do some push-ups, you'll do some star jumps, that kind of thing. One thing you should watch out for, and I missed, is where they throw a baked potato at you, I think it is, and the woman shouts catch, as you can just see on the screen there. I'm sure you can actually catch that, and I missed it, so if you guys catch it, let me know if it is a baked potato in the comments. Don't do what I do and miss out. So yeah, you spar with him, do some more running, and eventually do some push-ups up to 100. And then in a classic and very awesome homage to the Rocky movies, you'll soon see my character running up the steps of Varrock Palace and mimicking the pose adopted by the legendary Rocky Balboa. Yo, Adrian! I know he says that at the end of Rocky 2, not when he gets to the top of the stairs. Okay, so now you've completed your training with Atlas, you get the Flex emote, which is mega cool, obviously. And you can now go back to Checkal, and he will agree to rejoin the crew. Before you do that, however, grab a beer from one of the long hall's tables. This will be useful when we deal with Burntof the Dwarf later on. You only need one. You probably see my character go to get 2, you only need 1. So go speak to Checkal, and to get him to rejoin, you've got to prove your training. So you've got to use the Flex emote in front of him. And that's enough to get him to join. Screen goes black, and he joins the crew. The next thing you should do is head north to Edgeville. This is kind of skipping a step because we were supposed to find Marley the thief by going to Varrock and speaking to Charlie the Tramp, and he tells us where Marley is. But we're going to skip that because you don't actually have to do that to find out where he is. You can see Marley is kind of like the redhead guy. I'm approaching there in the ruins in Edgeville, and we're going to skip that step and just talk to him now. Here he is exactly on the map. Now talk to Marley, and he will only agree to rejoin Willow's crew if you get him a steak sandwich from the Blue Moon Inn at Varrock. Slightly annoying, but agree to do it, and then use a teleport to Falador. Once there, head to the pub that is directly southwest of the statue of Saradamon in the town square, and you'll find Burntof the dwarf. So now we're going to speak to Burntof. He's obviously a little bit worse for wear, and he'll ask us to buy him a drink. If you've got the beer in inventory, you can just immediately talk to him again and give him the beer. Alternatively, you could have brought 3 coins and just bought one from the barmaid, but it's easy to just pick one up since you're already in the longhouse in the Barbarian Village. Continue with the dialogue with Burntof, and eventually you will be challenged to a game of rock, paper, scissors. Now, I may be wrong on this. Again, leave a comment if I am, but I don't believe you can actually lose the game, because I think whatever you pick, his drunken conversation will kind of result in you winning, or you will eventually take advantage of the fact he's drunk and be like, oh look, I think you should recheck, and change your hand to the one that wins. There we go. I changed my hand to the scissor sign, and he believes that I've won. So now he's ready to rejoin the crew, and that's 2 members down. We only need to get Marley back, and we've got the full crew, and we can complete the quest. So now you want to teleport to Varrock, head to the Blue Moon Inn, and speak to the cook. We're speaking to the cook to try and get a steak sandwich. As will become apparent when you start speaking to the cook, here's his location on the map, just in case you weren't sure. It's out the back, behind the bar, in the Blue Moon Inn. Ask him for a steak sandwich. He basically refuses to make one for you because Marley stole something from one of the punters in the bar. So he's been blacklisted. When you mention Marley's name, he decides he won't help you. However, he will tell you how to make one. So now you've got the recipe for how to make a steak sandwich. We can go ahead and make one. So finish the narrative, and just before you go, if you're going to make the bread from scratch like I'm going to in this video, just grab the pot and then use a home teleport, assuming home is set to Lumbridge. If not, you will need to bring Lumbridge teleport runes. Wait for that little animation to play out so we can teleport to Lumbridge. Time for another installment of Lumbridge Trivia. Did you know there is a dog south of Falador that you can feed bones to? Neither did I. Look for the farm south of Falador and go check it out yourself. Right, now we're in Lumbridge, we've got a pot. The first thing we're going to do is get some raw beef for the steak. So head north, and there's a cow field there. So we're going to just dip into the cow field and kill a cow. Later on in the video, you'll see me kill a second cow and get another piece of meat. I recommend you probably kill 2 and get 2 bits of meat, just on the off chance you burn one. With 40 plus cooking that the character I've got here has, I shouldn't, but you know, you never know, sod's law. Right, so now we need to get the wheat to make the flour for the bread. So we're going to pick some wheat, and then we're going to head into the windmill that you can see at the north there. Exactly the same sort of steps we went through for the cook's assistant quest. I'll pop a little link on the screen up there if you haven't done it. It's a piece of cake. Drop the wheat in the hopper, operate the hopper, and then go collect the flour. FYI, it might be quicker, and I'd probably recommend maybe when you're in Varrock, heading over to the Grand Exchange and just buying some bread from the Grand Exchange. That would be probably faster than making it the manual way, but I'm already in Lumbridge, so I'm going to make it the manual way. Here's me stopping to get an extra piece of raw beef, just in case I burn one. And now we can head back to the castle kitchen and hopefully knock up a steak sandwich. Once we're back in the kitchen, the first thing we're going to do is grab the jug from the table there, and we're going to use that on the sink to get some water, and then we're going to use the water on the flour and select bread dough. Once we have the bread dough, we're going to use it on the range and make some bread. Now you will see shortly, once you have successfully made the bread, don't do what I did. Don't just click on it and bloody eat the bread. This is what you'll see my character do. Oh look, eat the bread. Oh my god, great. So I've skipped it so you don't have to watch that painful episode again, but I had to go get some more wheat, make it into flour, and come all the way back again and make it into bread. Don't do that. Instead, right click, use, and use the 2 together. You can't do that yet because you need a knife. Luckily, there's a knife in the corner of the room there, so go grab the knife, then use the cooked meat on the bread. Or use the bread on the cooked meat, either way works, to get, ta-da, the steak sandwich. Now, we're going to use another Skull Scepter teleport to go to the Barbarian Village, and we're going to head back to Marley and give him the steak sandwich. The steak sandwich that's been such a pain in the neck to get. So here we are. Say we finally managed to get a steak sandwich, give it to him, he eats it, and after a short conversation, agrees that it fills a hole, and off he goes. For a slight speed increase, I'm going to use another charge to teleport back to Barbarian Village, and now I'm going to head directly west, as if I was going to the Dwarven Mine. You'll see my character go too far, sort of west, and it should have gone north and then west, so you want to be going as if you're heading up Ice Mountain, so you need to head up the little sort of land bridge you can see my character on now, not along the path, because you'll end up having to come back on yourself. So once you're up on that top ledge, walk around, past the entrance to the Dwarven Mine, start heading north, and you can see, clear as day, the big entrance to the ruins. Once you're there, speak to Willow, and another cutscene will ensue. This cutscene is just the crew doing their thing, so it's Burntof blowing up the entranceway, which he's now setting explosives. Be careful not to click off the conversation options at this point, because I kind of just clicked randomly on the screen and it just exited the conversation. So be careful not to kind of do that. And then once that's opened, Checkal, the strongman, will go and move all the rubble, as you can see now. And then Marley, the thief, will go and check the corridor for traps or anything that may cause the party damage when entering into the caves. So there we go, he's disarming traps, checking things, and we're now ready to enter. So here we are inside. Finally, Willow's going to come clean that they're a band of thieves, not archaeologists. And just as they're trying to sort of turn on you in sort of some sort of attempt to kill you, I guess, the earth starts to shake, and an ancient guardian, which is the big pile of rubble behind you, comes to life. Luckily, that is enough to scare off Willow and her crew. Now, you've got two options at this point. You can see the big statues in the corner. If you're low level, you can just mine the statues, so you need a pickaxe and 10 mining. That'll collapse the ceiling and kill the guardian. My character's more than capable of defeating this guy in a straight fight. It's only level 25, so I opted for the fight option. But if you're low level, say level 3, you can mine each of the statues in the corners, and that'll bring the roof down, which kills the guardian. So you do not need level 25 combat. You can get away with being level 3. Once we've done that, Willow's left a bag, so we go look through the bag, and we get rewarded with 2,000 coins. We get our extra quest point, and the doors open, and in walks Romano, who is one of the last surviving Imcando Dwarves, along with the guy from the Knight's Sword. Can't remember his name, but yeah. That is the end of the quest. Congratulations, you now have access to the Camdozaal ruins. If you've enjoyed this video, and it has been at all helpful, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I, the Lumbridge Knight, am at your service. So until the next time, fare thee well, brave adventurer.